Good day everyone. Our assigned topic, blood, semen, and DNA analysis. So, what is blood? Blood circulates throughout the body and it's made up of four elements: the red blood cells, the white blood cells, blood platelets, and plasma. Red blood cells make up 45 to 50% of blood, carry oxygen to cells, deliver carbon dioxide to lungs. White blood cells make up 1% to 2% of blood. It helps to protect the body of the diseases. Platelet makes up 1% to 2%. It helps in clotting and bleeding. Contain water, glucose, mineral, enzyme, hormone, and waste product. Plasma makes up 50% to 55% of blood. Human blood consists of 56% plasma, of which 90% is water and 10% are protein. Blood clots found at the crime scene usually exhibit a stray yellow-colored liquid called serum. The difference between serum and plasma is that the latter contain no fibrinogen, which change to an insoluble form called fibrin. Blood examination in forensic can include blood typing and testing for the presence of blood stain in serology, blood stain pattern analysis, and testing for the presence of DNA in paternity tests. What is serology? It's a branch of science that deals with determination of the type of characteristics of blood system, and examination of blood stain, semen, saliva, and other body fluids that may or may not involve with DNA typing. The preparation of testimony through the results obtained via serology and its presentation in the trial by oral and written testimony delivered by an expert witness is the main job function of a forensic serology. Importance of serology in crime investigation. Blood can be used as corroborative evidence in identifying the perpetrator of a crime. It can also be used to prove disputed parentage as a paternity test, determine the cause of death, or the length of time at which the victim survived an attack. With the use of visualizing agents such as luminol and hydrogen peroxide, blood stain pattern can also help determine the direction of the escape of victim or the assailant, the origin of flow of blood, and the approximate time at which a crime was committed. Examination of blood. Screening test. As you can see, the name of the test and the color reaction indicate presence of the blood. See it in the table. Confirmatory test. Microscopic test. This is used to distinguish between mammalian, Havanian patient, and reptiles' blood. See the table species and the appearance of blood corpuscles. Microchemical test. This is the method of analytical chemistry that is used to study small sample of substance. In the table, you see the name of test and appearance of crystals. Test to determine if blood is of human origin. This is done to detect precipitin which react to human blood to form a precipitate. Human blood contains precipitin. Parentage test. This has several types as listed below. Blood grouping test. The blood of every human being belongs to one of four blood groups, which are known as Group O, A, B, and AB. This blood group cannot be alternated by the lapse of time or by the presence of a disease. Blood groups are hereditary, and science has proven that the EBO system is one of the best ways to determine true parentage. The most recent test of parentage is through DNA testing, which relies on the DNA strand present in both parents to determine the veracity of paternity beyond 99%. Blood stain pattern analysis. Blood stain pattern analysis, or BSPA, refers to examination of the shapes and distribution pattern and location of blood stains, which can provide an interpretation of the physical event that give rise to their own origin. Here, the distribution and appearance of blood stains and spatters are used to interpret and reconstruct the event that have occurred to produce the bleeding. Several factors should be considered and observed during the analysis. These factors are listed below. A. Direct of travel. The direct of travel can be determined by the bloodstain's shape. The pointed end always face to direct of travel. B. Surface texture. The harder and less porous the surface, the fever blood spatter produced. C. Origin of blood spattered origin in 2D configuration can be determined by establishing line through the long axis of individual blood stains. The intersection of line represent the point from which the blood originated. D. Impact angle. A drop of blood striking a surface at a right angle produces a nearly circular stain. As the angle decreases, the stain becomes more elongated. Uses of BSPA show assumptions concerning event and their sequence. Here the position of the victim, which may indicate blood smear and blood streak, may show evidence of the struggle between the suspect and the victim. 2. Confirm the refute statements made by principals in the case. Here, stain pattern on a suspect's victim's clothing can help verify consistency with the account given by either the witness or the suspect. Characteristics of a blood spatter. Low velocity, F5S 1.5 ms. Free falling drop, cuts off from weapon. Medium velocity, 25 fs 7.530 ms. Baseball bat blows. High velocity, 100 fs 30 ms. Shotgun machinery. There are three categories of blood stain. 1. Passive blood stain. These are drops created or formed by the force or gravity acting alone. Drip, caused by dripping blood. Drop, created by force of gravity. Pull. This refers to a change in the shape of the direction of blood stain due to the influence of gravity or movement of the object. Target surface texture. Blood stain can be found on various surfaces such as clothing, carpet, tile, wood, wallpaper, and so on. The type of surface upon which blood strikes can affect the amount of resulting spatter, including the appearance and size of the blood drop. Spread out smoothly. Blood droplet that strike a hard, smooth surface such as a piece of glass can have little or no distortion around the edge. Surface texture of the spreading edge is broken by irregular surface. Surfaces such as wood or consented are distorted. Surfaces such as wood or concrete are distorted. Spines and secondary spatter may be present. Blood droplets that strike flooring take on a slightly different appearance distortion. Around the edge of the blood droplet may be found. 2. Transfer. A transfer blood stain is created when a wet and bloody surface come in contact with a secondary surface. A recognizable image of all or part of original surface may be observed in the pattern, as in the case of a bloody hand or footwear. Transfer blood stain can be further subdivided into the following: smudge, contact bleeding, wipe or smurf. What is semen? Semen refers to the body fluid produced by the male sex organ, usually amounting 2.5 to 6.0 ml seminal fluid per ejaculation. Each ml contains 100 million or more spermatozoa. The fresh ejaculated semen has a gelatinous, sticky consistency and tend to become more fluid when exposed. It has two parts: the seminal fluid and epithelial cells and crystal component of chlorine and lecithin, composed of chlorine and lecithin.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, guys. My topic is continuation ni Renan Alcorcon. Forensic characterization of semen. A large, a large number of criminal cases handled by a forensic lab often involve sexual offenses, making it necessary to examine exhibit for the presence of seminal stains. There are two forensic examination of semen. 1. Location of the semen. So, location of semen is to dapat kahibaw gikaon sa location. Kaya og di ka kahibaw, di ka katuod og masaag ka. What do you mean by semen? Semen is a similia, means huwag. Semen location and identification. There are two methods to locate semen. First is the acid phosphate color test, and second is manually examining the semen left on fabric, which usually appears stiff and crusty. Collection of rape pieces evidence. In collecting semen evidence for cases involving rape, the following precautions must be considered. 1. A rape victim must be subjected to a medical examination. Dapat eksaminan gina nimo ang mga biktima para mahibaw-an nimo kung kinsa ang nag-rape niya. 2. Outer undergarments must be placed in separate paper bags with the proper evidence. The victim must be made to stand on a piece of paper as possible forms of trace, trace evidence are collected. Dapat sakto gina imong mga sakto gid ang mga sakto gina imong mga information para ang victim matrace nimo, imong matrace kung asa siya. A suspect must also undergo medical examination, during which clothing, hairs, penile swab, and blood samples are collected for comparison. Or objects found of the scenes of crime should be submitted to the laboratory with proper documentation. Wet semen. Wet specimen. Here a drop of the fluid is placed on the glass slide to which a few drops of distilled water are added. This is the examined under the high-powered microscope to determine the presence of sperms, cells, or spermatozoa. A spermatozoon has a head and then flagellate tail. Dry specimen. So what do you mean by dry specimen? Dry specimen a physical examination. Dry specimen has started peeling when a deposit on a piece of clothing. It may have a slight deepening of color, brownish white, sometimes yellowish, and disappearance of odor. Chemical examination. Florence test. Named after Dr. Florence of Lyons, used potassium treated that result in the formation of crystals to indicate the presence of choline. Barbarous test using the specific acid crystallizing agent. This result in the formation of spermine picrate crystals which appeared as slender yellow tinted rhomboid needles when obtuse angles that may sometimes appear as avoid crystals. Acid phosphate is Dr. Sidney K. This test identified the presence of acid phosphate which produce an orange-red pigment. Microscopic examination. This test identifies sperm cells or spermatozoa which indicate that the semen is of human origin. Spermatozoa die as the semen dries. In this test, the rapid stirring of a fabric stain. Water mixture will transfer a small amount of sperm into the water. A drop is then taken dried, stained, and visualized under the high-power microscopic. Microscopic problems. Some problems may arise in the examination of sperm using a microscope due to several factors which are listed below. Some sexual crimes may involve males who have an abnormal low sperm. So, hinay kag tuga, di ka produce of similya. Di ka produce of bata. Sperm are very brittle when dried and tend to easily disintegrate. They are also difficult to remove from cloth material. So, ang imong sperm o kuan na siya uga, di gina nimo dali nga mawagtang kaya nipilit naman na siya. Some males may suffer from aspermia a condition where there is no sperm in the seminal fluid, which is due to vasectomy.
So that's end our topic and have a good day everyone.